Okay, guys, so welcome to Kumar Consulting, and this is our first session. So we'll start. This is the first class. So here we'll start from introductions about this SAP. So the first question which will come in your mind, or which will come in everybody's, whoever is new to this SAP. So the first question is coming in your mind is, what is SAP? And we should know if you're planning to do certain things. So first of all, you should know about that things, that what is this SAP, what is this Oracle. If you're going to do any other Java.NET, lots of courses are there. So here we'll talk about SAP. So the first question is, what is SAP? Now look at the next slide, what the next slide says. So here the next slide says systems, applications and product in data processing. So now here, this systems, applications and product in data processing is not a perfect answer. Why? Because this is just the full form of SAP. This is just a full form of SAP. So the question is still remain now. So here is the answer. SAP is nothing but an ERP. SAP is an ERP. But again, now we are having another confusion, that what is this ERP then? Because if you are able to understand ERP, then only you can understand SAP. If somebody is asking what is SAP, you have replied it's an ERP. But if we don't know what is this ERP, then again the definition is incomplete. So now we'll know about ERP. Once we come to know about ERP, then what will happen? Automatically we can understand what is this SAP. Now, so the question is, what is ERP? And here is the answer. So now the answer is hidden in the full form of ERP. ERP stands for Enterprise Resources Planning. This is the full form of ERP. Now, if we break this, like let's suppose enterprise separately, resources separately and planning separately, then we will get our answer. So what will happen here? Let's suppose enterprise means whichever organizations are there, that is called enterprise. Now, second one is resources. So what are the resources in any organization? So in every organization, this man, money, material and machines, these are the resources of an organization. These are the resources of any organizations. Resources means what are the required elements are there in order to run an organization. So of course, employees required, it means that is called manpower. Machines are required to produce certain things, and for producing certain things, what is happening? Materials are also required and money is also required to run this. So these are the major four elements which is required to run an organization. So which is why what is the what are the resources to run any organizations? So this is called 4M. 4M means man, money, material and machines. So now, as I said, like enterprise means an organizations. And what are the resources in any organizations? So it is man, money, material and machines. Now, and planning. Planning about what? Planning about the optimum utilization. Planning about the optimum utilization means maximum utilization. Maximum utilization of what? Maximum utilization of resources. Maximum utilization of resources. Resources of what? Resources of an enterprise. Enterprise means an organization. So the most simplest definition of an ERP is, it's a tool or software. Tools, if it is going to be confusing, so here I'll just make it like it's a software. Now it will be easy for you guys to understand. It's a software which helps an organization to do optimum utilization of its resources. Okay, optimum utilization means maximum utilization of resources. it's SAP, sorry, ERP is nothing but a software which helps an organizations to do maximum utilization of its resources. Okay, and what are the resources? Resources are money, man, material, and machines. These are the four resources. So now the question is here that how ERP is going to help any organization to use their resources, or how ERP is going to help any organization to do maximum utilization of its resources. So as I said, like ERP is a software. So what is this SAP, guys? This is also a kind of software. SAP, as we said, like SAP is an ERP, and ERP is a software. So what is SAP? SAP is also a kind of software. I'll tell you guys the most simplest way. Just think about some 20, 25 years back or 30 years back. Just take example of our whatever the banks are there, whichever banks are there. So 40 years back, 30 years back, what used to happen? In every bank, they used to maintain registers, books, lots of things, and passbook, what to say, system was there in those days. And now since we are moving towards this digitalizations, and also almost these all things are gone, but earlier 20, 30 years back, this passbook system was there. Banks used to maintain the registers or books or lots of things. Okay, computers were very less, it was being used some 30 years back. So now what was the disadvantage? The disadvantage was like huge number of employee, huge number of resources were required in those days. Okay, in order to perform, let's suppose, what is happening, let's suppose you went to your bank and you forgotten your passbook. So what will happen now? If you want to do any sort of transactions, if you want to, even if you are the premium customer of the banks also, still if you want to do any sort of transaction, then what will happen? First of all, they have to identify your bank account number. Now how they are going to identify your bank account number, guys? So they will ask you like, okay sir, you let me know in which year your account was opened. They will say, okay, it was opened 10 years back. So they will give you a perfect exact year name. Okay, it was open in 1991. Then they'll say, okay, let me know if you're able to remember the month and all. So it might be July or August. I'm not easily able to remember, but it could be July or August. But even in July or August also, there are lots of accounts were open in those in those months for that particular bank. Now what will happen? Continuously one or two or three employees will keep on searching out the registers and all to find out his name and all the details and all. It might take a completely one day also, it might take half day also, isn't it? So how the things was difficult in those days, because we were maintaining the all these registers and all, and manually each and everything were happening. But nowadays every banks are using computers, and in that certain softwares are being used. Every banks are using certain software, a particular software. That software is called ERP. And what is the benefit? Now let's suppose today also, in nowadays also, if you go to bank and if you forgotten your detail, and if you forgotten your account number, and if you go to their whoever the customer relations manager will be there somewhere, or reception counters will be there, and if you disclose even a single details, they are going to give you all your entire details will be there on their screen. In the sense, they'll say, sir, kindly disclose your email ID. With that itself, they'll get to know entire details. If you disclose your contact number, with that also they are going to get your entire details. If you disclose your name and date of birth, with that also they are going to find out all the details. Even if you disclose your PAN card number, with that also they are going to get all the details. If you have linked your Aadhaar card with your bank account, with that. So nowadays what is happening, within a second, the moment you disclose your any of this identity, within a second, people, there will be a guy who is going to find out all the details. How it is going to happen, guys? It is going to happen because of this ERP itself. Okay, so as I said, like ERP is going to helps an organization to do optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilizations of resources, of course it is happening. I've given an example that 30 years back, completely it is going to take one day completely to find out a particular details. Now what is happening, within a second we are going to find out, isn't it? So here a one employee completely has given one day, and now the same employee is going to give hardly he's going to spend, or she is going to spend 30 seconds and 20 seconds. In that they are going to get all these details. I'll give one more very easy example here, and this will be like I'll give an example of a manufacturing organization. So this is, let's suppose we are having several manufacturing organizations are there, and just quoting an example of Tata Motor. So now whichever organizations are there, if we talk at broader level, then every organization will have four department minimum. Apart from this there are lots of other departments also, but I have just kept example of only, I've written only four departments. These are the major what to say department of any organizations. So that is called sales department, purchase department, finance and account department, and human resource department, that is called HR department. Take example of any department. Example of any department. Say for example, I have taken an example of sales department. Now, in sales department, just assume 30 years back what used to happen. 30 years back or 40 years back, when the computer was not much prevalent in the market, and every organizations, as I said, like 30, 40 years or 50 years back, they used to maintain books or registers. So here in companies also what will happen, they used to maintain several different kind of registers. Now, since I have taken example of sales department, now this sales department is having total, I'm talking about their backend what to say this one, office. Okay, sales department means not backend part, means the people who is sitting in the office and working. Okay, there are certain, like if you're the part of marketing team, then what will happen, you have to roam in the market. I'm talking about the sales department backend team. So they're having, okay, they're having, like, let's suppose total 50 number of employees. 50 number of employees are there in their sales department. Now this 50 number of employees, what exactly they are doing for Tata Motor? So since Tata Motor is a very big organization, it's a very large organization, so what will happen, they'll be having huge number of customers. Huge number of customers, it means huge number of transactions are taking place on daily basis. So now what will happen, out of 50 employee, 25 employee involved for day-to-day transactions recording, in the sense whichever sales we have made to the customers, those need to be recorded somewhere in the sales register. Let's suppose, as I said, like I'm talking about 40-50 years back, computer is not there, okay, ERP is not there, software is not there. Then how these people are going to manage? Then they have to maintain the sales register. Now they will be having, so this, let's suppose, so huge, as I said, like huge number of transactions are taking place. So Tata Motor, in Tata Motor, like let's suppose in their sales department 50 people are there, so out of 50, 25 people are involved in recording of day-to-day transactions. What kind of transactions? Like daily basis, huge number of sales are taking place, so those transactions we have to note it down, it means we have to track it. Okay, that is called customer related invoices, we have to track it. Now, second thing is, like let's suppose certain customers, some of the customers are going to return certain product. So this customer return, whatever the customer returns are there, those also, it means we have to reduce the customer balances. Let's suppose we have sold a goods worth of 1,000 rupees, and customer has returned a goods worth of 300 rupees. So how much customer is going to pay us? After certain time, customer is going to pay us only 700 rupees, because 300 worth of goods they have received, returned. So even those also, whatever the returned items are there, that is also need to be recorded somewhere. Apart from this, after certain time, the customers are going to make payments, so those payment related transactions are also going to be recorded somewhere in certain registers. So out of 50, 25 people involved in recording day-to-day transactions. What about remaining 25? Remaining 25 people are involved in report preparation. So guys, if you talk about any company, their management is very much keen for this, what to say, reports only. They are very much interested in the reports only. Why? Because based on those reports, they are going to take lots of future actions and future decisions. So what will happen? Managers need a several different kind of reports. Let's suppose, like, what is the sales in this particular month, what is the sales, what is quarterly sales, what is half yearly sales, isn't it? Such kind of some, then customer aging report is like, let's suppose, we whatever the customers are there, out of which like 90% of the customers has made payment, but there are 10% of the customers who is not making payment on time. Okay, so now there are some of the customers, like let's suppose 20 customers are there who has not made payment. Like, let's suppose there will be a particular terms. Whenever we are going to sell goods to any customer, there will be a particular, some payment terms will be negotiated. Like, payment will be made, let's suppose, in 30 days. Payment will be made in 30 days. So there'll be like 90% of the customers are going to make payment in 30 days. 10% of the customers will be there who is not unable to make payment even after crossing this 30 days. Okay. So this is, for this we are going to prepare a customer aging report. Means how many customers are there who has not made payment even after crossing this 30 days. In that also, like, 30 days means after 30 days, let's suppose, uh, how many customers are there, like, who has crossed this 30 days. So now let's suppose there are total 100 customers. Out of 100 customers, like from 30 days onwards, let's suppose there are some customers uh, who has not made payment even after 3 months also. There are not, so some customer who has not made payment even after 6 months also. There are certain customers who has not made payment even after 1 year also. So these kind of reports management want, so that they will decide what kind of future actions we are going to take against those customers, isn't it? So such kind of several reports required to the management. So as I said, like, 25 people involved in day-to-day transaction posting, and remaining 25 people involved in report preparation. Okay. Now here, what is the advantage of ERP, guys? Now, if Tata Motor is going to implement, or Tata Motor is going to use any software, any ERP, let's suppose, in their organization, then what is the benefit? The benefit will be these 25 people are required, those who involve in day-to-day transaction posting. Because, so these only 25 people are required. The remaining 25 people who involve in report preparation, those people are not required. Why? Because now this ERP or this software is going to give you all the output, in the sense desired output, in the sense like all the reports. It means reports will be prepared by this ERP automatically. The moment we post a transaction in SAP, what will happen? SAP is going to prepare the report, is going to be updated automatically within a second. Okay. So now what will happen? The people, this 25 candidates, 25 resources who required to prepare this report or report preparations, those people are not required. So what will happen now? Tata Motor is going to engage these people in a different activity. So now look at the differences. Earlier, sales department needed 50 number of employees. Now what is happening? Sales department will be able to handle all their activity, and their sales department will be able to manage all their transaction related activity with by 25 people only. Okay, remaining this 25 people who involve in report preparations, now Tata Motor is going to engage those people in a different activity. So this is how, look at here, how SAP or how ERP is going to help Tata Motor or any such kind of organizations to do optimum or maximum utilization of its resources. Earlier 50 resources were required. Right now the same activity can be performed by 25. So this is how it is. ERP is going to help any organizations to do optimum or maximum utilization of its resources. Okay. So this is the example, a classic example of this ERP, benefit of ERP. Now, what are the leading ERP in the market? Okay, leading ERP in the market. So here there are few of them. I have just given an example of few of them. Like let's suppose we are having, of course, SAP is number one. There is no doubt at all, because it has covered around 70% of the market share. And the second one is Oracle Financial itself. But right now Oracle Financial is nowhere in front of SAP, because it's having around 10 to 12% of the market share. So whichever the competitors are there, they're almost nowhere in front of SAP. Now, and apart from this, Oracle, JD Edward, Ban, Epicor, PeopleSoft, even Navision is there, Tally is there, and there are several small ERPs are there in the market. Several small softwares are there in the market. Okay, some of the ERPs has been developed, for a particular, like, industry wise, in the sense like for retails, somebody has developed certain ERP for all this. What to say? Like, let's suppose whatever the medical shops are there, or whatever the small shops are there, for that somebody has developed a different software which is going to be helpful. So these all will be treated as a ERP itself, but for small organizations. So now what is happening? There are several ERP in the market, out of which few name I have written here. Okay, SAP, Oracle, Epicor, PeopleSoft, Navision, Tally. These all are the ERPs only. Now, if you talk about SAP, then what will happen in SAP? What we are going to do? We are going to learn this SAP itself. But SAP, it doesn't mean that you are going to learn entire SAP. SAP is just like ocean. Okay, SAP is not a small thing. So what is happening now? SAP has been segregated in different modules. Okay, SAP is going to be segregated in different modules. Now, so what are those modules in SAP, guys? What are the modules available in SAP? So now here, if you talk about modules in SAP, then at broader level it is going to divided into two part. At broader level it is going to be divided into two part. The first one is called functional module, and second one is called technical module. First one is called functional module, and second one is called technical module. So now here, what is this functional module and what is this technical module, guys? So functional module means the module, like, let's suppose you guys are going to do FICO, finance module. Okay, so this FICO is called functional module. Technical module means ABAP, basis. Now, the what is the difference between functional and technical, you guys will come to know later, because once we start the practical sessions, I'll explain certain things like development related activities and all. Then at that point of time, you guys will be having a clear understanding what is the exact difference between functional consultant and technical consultant. And once we start the configuration part, in the sense once we start the practical session, then you will come to know what is your activity and what kind of activities are going to be performed by technical consultant. Okay, so now here I'm talking about functional modules. So what are the modules comes under functional module, and which are the modules comes under technical module? I'll just give a brief explanation here. Now, so let's suppose we are having, like, there are several module which is the part of functional module. Look at here. FI means finance, then controlling, material management, sales and distribution, human resource. Apart from this, also we are having several other modules like project system is there, production planning is there, quality management is there. So these all are the module which comes under functional module. Now, if we talk about technical module, then we are having right now a BAP and basis. These are the most popular module in technical module. And you guys, once you become consultant, you'll come to know. And these people also will be sitting at the almost same floor along with this functional consultant. So here, once I start the practical session, then you guys will come to know the differences between functional consultant and technical consultant. It means what is your activity, you'll come to know, and what is the activity, what activity belongs to these people, ABAP consultant and basis consultant, what exactly what kind of things are being performed by these guys. So these all will be, you guys will be able to understand once we start the practical session. Now, so guys, this is a kind of introduction which I have given about SAP. Now let's suppose once you become SAP consultant, then what will happen? Once you become SAP consultant, then you guys are going to be assigned certain activity, certain task. Okay, it means you have to perform certain activity. You'll be assigned certain task. You need to perform those things. Now, what are those tasks or activities? Whatever the activities or task is going to be assigned, that is called project. It means you guys are going to be part of a project. If, like, let's suppose few of the like you people, out of like these all people, few of you are the part of BPO. If somebody is working in BPO and KPO, then what will happen? You guys are going to serve a particular client. It means you are working on a project. That project belongs to a client. Now the question is, how many types of projects are there in SAP? Okay, how many types of projects are there in SAP? So now here, this is the question: SAP projects and its types. Now here, look at here how many types of projects are there. So guys, we are having total 4 types of projects. Sometimes people are saying 5 types of projects also. They will say like some enhancement. Okay, but majorly it's 4 type itself. Here, like already it is visible on your screen. You have to say 4 types only. Okay, now here, and what is this project? Project is a task or assignment. Okay, whenever you joined, like HR will come, they will greet you, hi XYZ, welcome on board, and today is our like induction classes and all. After that induction sessions, they are going to, let's suppose, explain, or they will let you know like, hi, you are the part of so and so project. Okay, you are the part of ABC project. ABC project means that is the name of your client. Let's suppose we are having Adidas. Okay, so Adidas is a very huge company. They're using SAP. So now what will happen? So Adidas project is going to be handled, let's suppose, by Wipro Technology or Infosys. If you join Infosys, then what will happen? Infosys HR will say that you are going to be part of Adidas project, and it's an implementation project. The nature of project is an implementation project, or it could be rollout, or it could be upgrade, or it could be support. Okay, so these are the major 4 types of projects are there. So we need to understand what is this implementation project, what is the meaning of rollout project, what is the meaning of upgrade project, what is the meaning of support project, and what kind of activity we are going to perform. Okay, so here, since it is a theoretical session, first of all I'll have to give a complete picture, a complete understanding theoretically, and once we start the practical session, everything is going to be easy, guys. Just one by one, step by step, you have to follow. So now here, once you join, people will say that you're going to be part of so and so project, and the nature of project is implementation or rollout or upgrade or support. So first of all, we need to understand what is this implementation project, or what kind of activities are going to happen in this implementation project, what is rollout, what is upgrade, and what is support. So we'll explain one by one. We'll start from implementation project itself. So since here I have given the example of Tata Motor initially, now just take an example of this Tata Motor itself. Look at here. Now I'm talking about implementation project. Let's suppose Tata Motor is using a different ERP. Tata Motor is using a different ERP. That ERP is called Tally. Okay, this ERP is called Tally. So now Tally is a very small ERP, guys, but Tata Motor is a very huge organization. So initially, let's suppose it was okay, but now what is happening, since they have expanded their business a lot, their number of employees also become like too much, and apart from this, their management uh, will have huge number of or their expectation is to in terms of reports will be like it's like they're always seeking for a different types of reports. So now what will happen, uh, it's difficult to get such kind of exclusive report from tallies and all. So what will happen, these people will plan to move or switch for a different ERP. Right now they are using tally. Now they thought like, okay, why not to go for some bigger platform, because now our expectation has increased and we need several different kind of reports and all, and tally is not able to meet our requirement. Okay, so now what will happen, these people will do some research, they will do some R&D, and now their management had decided that better to go for SAP, which is one of the leading ERP in the market. So now Tata Motor is planning to go for SAP. So now here, since Tata Motor is using Tally and SAP is going to be installed, this is the first time. So first time installation of SAP in any organization is called implementation project, guys. If somebody says that you are the part of implementation project, it means first time SAP installation is going to happen in that organization. Now, this SAP installation is not your part. After installation of SAP, you have to perform lots of activities. That is your what to say activities. That is your task. That is your work. What are those activities, guys? Once we start the practical session, then I will let you know what are those activities one by one, step by step. Here, theoretically, I'm just trying to clarify and trying to make you people understand that if somebody says, what do you mean by implementation? Implementation means implementation. The first time installation of SAP in any organization is called implementation project. Now, here again, implementation also can be segregated in two part, guys. This is a question has been asked only once. It was asked by somebody. This is very unique, but might be if somebody asks these things, then you're supposed to reply. I think thousands out of thousands, might be one or two people will be able to explain this. So here they will ask, like, implementation can be divided into two part. So first one is called greenfield implementation, and then there will be brownfield implementation. Let's suppose, okay, so now here we are having implementation is going to be segregated in two part, greenfield implementation and brownfield implementation. So what is this brownfield implementation? First of all, I'll explain, guys. Okay, brownfield implementation means, let's suppose Tata Motor is using this tally. From tally, what is happening? From tally, we are going to tally is going to be replaced by SAP. Okay, tally is going to be replaced by SAP. So here it means some existing ERPs are there. Existing ERPs are there. Okay, so wherever the existing ERPs are there, those project is called brownfield implementation. Brownfield means already one existing ERP is there. We have to replace that ERP with SAP. Greenfield implementation means, let's suppose Tata Motor is a totally new organization which is going to be constructed or which is going to be built. Say for example, we are having like this Tata Motor, or Tata Motor is totally new setup. It's going to, Tata Group has decided that we are going to enter in, let's suppose now into four-wheeler manufacturing. So they decided that organization name is Tata Motor. So what will happen? Their plant constructions will be happening somewhere. The construction is going on. They are going to build up this plant. At somewhere, some corporate office constructions is also going on, isn't it? At the same time, once this plant construction is going to be over, once this corporate office construction is going to be over, and let's suppose the hiring is also going on for the employees who is going to work, who is going to be the part of Tata Motor. So once these all things are finished, once these all things are over, then how they are going to work? They need certain software also, they need certain ERPs also, right? And ERP installation or software installation, it doesn't mean that it's going to be completed in one day itself. Guys, implementation takes lots of time. It takes 7 months also, 8 months also, 10 months also, 1 year also, depends upon the size of the organization. So what will happen? Greenfield implementation means totally new, in the sense like plant construction is also going to happen. It means totally new setup is going to happen. Their corporate office is also being constructed. At the same time, this SAP implementation is also, it's keep on going on. So that what will happen, if certain deadline is there, let's suppose on so and so particular date we are going to inaugurate this plant, we are going to it means like plant will become functional, and then production will be started. Then what will happen if the production is started? It means wherever the corporate office is there, there also employees keep on working. They started what to say, recording certain transactions, and all certain transactions recording also will be started. So here what will happen, one ERP is required to handle these kind of activities. So SAP implementation is also going to be simultaneously, it will keep on going, and that particular day what will happen, our implementation is going to be finished, and these people will be able to use this SAP. So I'll just give one more later on also. I'll just explain this once I cover the all project. Then also I'll just explain the difference between greenfield and brownfield. So now guys, implementation project means first time installation of SAP in any organization is called implementation project. If somebody says like you are going to be part of implementation project, means you have to assume that in that organization certain different ERPs are there. Now what will happen, you guys has to replace that ERP by SAP. It means we are going to install this SAP over there, and apart from this, installation will be done by basis consultant. Generally you guys are going to do the configurations as per the client requirement. We have to do the configurations. Now the question is, what is this configuration, how we have to do this configurations and all. So these all questions will be solved and resolved once we start the practical session. Once the practical session is going to be started, then we have to start it from configuration itself. Several configurations we have to do. So you guys are going to be perfect in terms of configurations. Don't worry, because the practical session has not started yet. First of all, certain theoretical topics are there. Once it is finished, then only the practical session will be started. So this is all about implementation project. First time installation in any organization is called implementation project. And that's what here I have specified in the definition, like fresh or first time installation of SAP in any organization is called implementation project. Now the entire implementation project is further segregated in 5 phases. This will be discussed later. It means from next class onwards, those things are going to be discussed. What are those phases and what is the need of segregate this project in 5 phases. So that will be discussed later. Now the next one is called a rollout project. The second project is called a rollout project. So what is this rollout project, guys? Now say for example, Tata Motor. Tata Motor is the part of Tata Group. Tata Motor is the part of Tata Group. So now here that Tata Group has decided that okay, we'll do one thing. Now we are going to replace this tally with a bigger, like some very bigger platform, in the sense SAP. So here Tata Group has decided to implement this SAP. So they have decided that why not to do this implementation, or why not to get this installation in one subsidiary, and we'll check the performance. We'll observe the performance for certain period, and if it is going to be meet, if it is going to meet our expectation, then the same will be installed in other subsidiaries also. Okay, so now let's suppose here, so that's what Tata Group has invited certain IT companies. It could be Wipro, Infosys, TCS, any IT companies. Several IT companies are there, so they can invite anybody. They have invited some IT companies for this implementation. So first time what is happening at group level also and at subsidiary level also, the first time installation has taken place for Tata Motor. So that is why this Tata Motor project is going to be treated as an implementation project. But under same group, for a different subsidiary. For Tata Steel, we are going to do the same implementation, in the sense same installation. Okay, the same installation is going to happen second time for a different subsidiary. That is called a rollout project. That is called a rollout project, guys. Okay, rollout project means in the same organizations, if we do certain what to say this SAP installations for a different subsidiary, then what will happen? The same, this project will be treated as a rollout project. Okay, now here I'll give you the simplest definition here. What is called this rollout project? So now here rollout project means if a company already implemented SAP for one subsidiary. I've given example like let's suppose Tata Motor. So if a company already implemented SAP for one subsidiary and want to set up the same for a different subsidiary, is called a rollout project. Okay. Same thing, if a company already implemented SAP in one subsidiary and want to set up the same for a different subsidiary, means rollout project. So if somebody says that hi you guys are going to be part of rollout project, it means you have to say that in that particular organization for their other subsidiaries, like few of the subsidiaries are already having SAP. It means SAP already got implemented for few of the subsidiaries. Now they are looking for the same for a different subsidiary. Okay, so here what is happening, the number of activities are going to be reduced. Okay, here what will happen, the number of activities are going to be reduced. Okay, during implementation what will happen, during implementation, let's suppose if you have to perform 100% of the activities, during rollout we are going to perform only 70% of the activity or 60% of the activities. Okay, now this what kind of, what is the major differences between implementation and rollout project, that will also you guys will be able to understand during practical session. Okay, during practical you guys will come to know later that what are the activities will be performed, like what is the major difference between implementation and a rollout project. As I said, like in implementation we are going to perform 100% of the activities, whereas in support we are going to perform hardly 70% of the activity or 60% of the activities. In the sense 60% or 70% the configuration steps we are going to follow during rollout project. 30% we are going to use from the already which is done for the previous subsidiaries, those settings we are going to use. So it will be like just theoretically itself, practically since we have not started practical. So once we start the practical session, guys, then you will be able to understand very well. So now here, as I said, rollout project means the same installation of SAP for a different subsidiary. Okay, under the same group company but for a different subsidiary. Okay, so that is called a rollout project. Now look at the next project. The next one is called upgrade. So upgrade is pretty simple, guys. Upgrade, the name itself is telling you the definition here. Upgrading the version of SAP, and here everybody are using smartphone. Now let's suppose you guys are having your let's suppose everybody's are having smartphone, you guys are using different apps. So what will happen, every after 1 month, every after 20 days you keep on receiving certain kind of notification that update your app. What is this updation, guys? If you update your apps, then what will happen, it means every time these all whatever the apps are there, whichever like apps are there, so that people are going to add some special or new functionality in those apps. So how you guys are going to avail those how you guys are going to avail the benefit of those what to say new functionalities, once you update, then whatever the recent changes they have done, you guys are going to, those will be going to be those you guys can be use those, what to say, this one, whatever the new functionality has been added, so you guys can be able to avail the benefit of those things. Let's suppose if you talk about anything like WhatsApp is there. Let's suppose earlier, like right now in WhatsApp, only voice call is there, video call is not there. Now what will happen, they have done certain kind of experiment and they brought this video calling also. So how you guys are going to avail this, you'll be getting a notification that update your app. Once you update, then you are going to get this video calling facility. In the same way, SAP is also keep on adding the new functionality. So what will happen, the version is going to be changed every after certain time, like every year or every after 2 year or 3 years, some major changes they are going to bring, so version will be changed. Now let's suppose in Tata Motor we have implemented this SAP 10 years back. So 10 years back means in 2008, and right now we are in 2018. So what will happen in 2018 means new version came and lots of changes are there. So if Tata Motor want to avail the new functionality, whatever the new functionality has been added, if they want to use those functionality, then they must have to go for upgradations. It means upgradation is required. Now this upgradation cannot be performed by a Tata Motor employee. For that also they need SAP consultant, and SAP consultants are not the part of Tata Motor because it's a manufacturing organization. So where SAP consultant will be there, they will be the part of some IT company. So once again, they are going to invite certain IT companies. It could be Wipro, Infosys, TCS, Accenture, like 100, IT companies are there, or more than that. So they will invite anybody that now you just come and you just do the upgradations. Okay, it means upgrade from lower version to higher version. So this is also not a small activity. This is a very big activity. This also takes time, and here also there will be involvement of technical consultant, functional consultant, both. You guys has to do the lots of perform. You guys, like functional consultant has to perform lots of activities. Why lots of activities, guys? Let's suppose here lots of activity in the sense, let's suppose uh, Tata Motor is saying like they are having, let's suppose in their previous what to say version, they are having total 100, kind of, they are having total, let's suppose, I'll just let you know, guys. I'll give an example here. Okay, so now let's suppose in their previous version they are able to perform 10 different kind of activity, and in new version SAP says like, in new version SAP says that five additional activities will be there. Okay, so five additional activity will be there. So what will happen during upgradations, once the upgradation completed, then we have to perform testing also. We have to test it. What we are going to test? So we have to check like at any cost, this 10 activity which was there in earlier previous version, it means at old version, so those we have to deliver. And apart from this, the new five activities which we have explained, those also we have to test. It means we have to test this 15 total different kind of activity, all this activities and all we have to test. That first of all, whatever the 10 activities belongs to the older version, that we have to deliver, and apart from this, the new five activities are there in this newer version, that also we have to deliver. So this testing will be performed by you guys only. So now in a simplest way, I'll not go in that much details right now because we are in theoretically explanations is going on. So here in upgrade project, what is happening? We are going to upgrade the version, and always it will be lower version to higher version itself. Now we are having, so here look at here, the definition will be, definition of upgrade project is shifting from one version of SAP to other. In upgrade project, what is happening? We always shift from lower version to higher version. Now we are having the last one. The last one is support project. So what is this support project, guys? Support project means post implementation all SAP related whatever the maintenance or errors activities are there, that comes under support project. Here consultant just receive the tickets means errors. Okay, solve them and send them back to the client. So the meaning is like, let's suppose we have implemented this SAP for Tata Motor. Now what will happen? So after implementation, it doesn't mean that Tata Motor will be able to handle this SAP independently. No. After implementation also, they won't be able to handle this SAP independently because it's a technical things. Now what will happen? So once they started using, even after that also they'll be having lots of issues they can face. Sometime, since I said like it's a technical thing, or it's a software, so there might be a chances that they are going to receive certain errors. They'll be having certain problems, certain errors will be taking place. So who is going to resolve these things? These will be resolved by consultants only. So in order to have the smooth processing or process, in order to run this SAP smoothly, they need the assistance of SAP consultant even after installation of this SAP also. It means even after implementation also, they need the assistance of SAP consultant. Okay. So what is happening? It means we have to support them. We are going to give a support after implementation. Tata Motor once again is going to approach to this IT companies and they will say that okay, implementation is done, you have installed this SAP, very nice, where our employees are going to walk out. But what about if they are going to face any issues, if they are going to face any error, or if they have some requirements, isn't it? So who is going to meet their requirement, who is going to solve these issues and errors? So for that also they required SAP consultant. So their Tata Motor once again is going to have a kind of tie-up with again certain IT companies and all, and they will say that now you give us support. Okay, support means Tata Motor will pay, let's suppose every year they are going to pay some amount like 2 crore, 4 crore, 5 crores. It depends upon the organizations and their sizes and all. So anyway, this discussion will be happening at higher level people, higher level management will discuss like how much amount they want for supports and all. So this Tata Motor, let's suppose they have given this support activity to the Wipro Technology. So what will happen? Wipro Technology is going to hire a team of consultant. Let's suppose 20, 25 people or 30 people. There will be a team of 30 people. These people is totally dedicated to the Tata Motor itself. It means they'll be sitting somewhere at central location. Let's suppose in Wipro office itself, in Hyderabad, Mumbai, Bangalore, anywhere, and from there they are going to give the support. If Tata Motor is having any issues, any error, then their employees are going to take the screenshot of these all things. They will send a mail to the whatever the respective consultant is there. They are going to write a mail, and then these people will have a mutual coordination, in the sense like consultant will look these errors and all, and lots of things are there, guys. This is the matter of like once we start the practical session, there also it will be, there will be a discussion, there will be what to say, explanations about this. So support means what is happening? We are going to receive the requirement from client side. Client is Tata Motor, and we have to meet their, we have to perform, we have to resolve their errors, issues, or whatever the requirement is there, that we have to meet those requirements. So how it is happening? This is the part of, these all activities are the part of support project. So support project comes into picture after implementations. Once the implementation happen, then only this support project or support will come into picture, or even after rollout. Once the rollout is over, then this support will be coming into picture. So these are the four types of project, guys: implementation, rollout, upgrade, and support. These are the four kind of projects are there in SAP, and most likely once you people get placement, once you guys are going to be a consultant, then 90 to 95% chances will be there that you guys are going to be part of support project, because number of support projects will be more compared to implementation or rollout. Okay, the number of support projects will be much higher compared to implementation and rollout. So most likely you guys are going to be part of support project itself. So guys, this is all about the types of projects, and That's all in this session. That's all in this session. Simply, we have covered this introduction part, like what is this SAP, and what is this ERP, uh, what total modules are there in SAPs, and apart from this, the most important topic is types of project, which you guys should know. Which you guys should know these types of projects and all. So that's all in this session, guys. That's all for today.